Hi everybody, I just wanted to do a quick update. I tried to do one earlier and it turned out way too long, but now that my thoughts are in order, I think we're good. All I wanted to share with you all is that I had several things happen that kind of kept me from updating for a while. I'm fine. None of them are related to COVID. It has everything to do with my mother's Alzheimer's progressing and it's now in late stage, and just like the pressure that's put on my family trying to increase what we can do to take care of her during a time in which it's not safe, even if you can afford it, to have outside care come in and try and assist. Or you can't, and we wouldn't at this point anyway, putting somebody in like a nursing home and stuff. And we don't want to do that. Like, we want mom to stay here like as long as humanly possible. If we had our way, she would stay here like until the end of her days. So, yeah, that's been going on. And then I had an incident with my leg. It was as bad as I've had it in a really long time. It's not that nothing ever goes wrong with my left leg, because it has to do with the pressure on the disc, but it actually, there aren't words for how angry and full of grief I was when this happened, and I'm still processing it, as you can see. I got up one morning and my leg kind of came out of the bed. I wasn't really awake yet. I didn't have any muscle control over it, and I didn't realize it. And I went to put my weight on it, and I fell right out of the bed back there and into a table, which is down here, and it's like an impromptu desk thing that I sometimes use, but also just kind of like a place to put all my figurines and stuff. And I fell straight into it, and I bashed my knees and my leg and my arm, and I fell funny. And so it jarred everything else, and then I ended up having to crawled over. It was sad and funny at the same time, because it was like, fuck. But also, my alarm at the time was a Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series clip that's from Zedge that was like, Bakura, wake up, Bakura. And it's like, Melvin, Merrick, saying that. And, it's pretty funny. Like, it's a pretty funny thing to wake up to every day. I'm sorry, I'm having today's the day my eyes are like, time to shed the lashes. And don't worry, I did wash my hands recently. But, oh my god, why? As I smear literally all my makeup. There. But yeah, that was the thing that happened. See, here I thought it was going to be me crying that caused it to be smeared instead of just me existing. But I crawled over, turned that silly alarm off, had my left leg dragging behind me, freaking just slapped the door handle there, because I'm relying on my front hands, and I'm relying on my right leg to crawl, because my left leg is useless. And I crawl across the hallway. The dogs one of them let out a weird short bark of alarm, and they both came running over and were sniffing me, and I didn't have my glasses on, so I don't know who it was, but one was sniffing my good leg, one was sniffing my bad foot, one was sniffing my head and booping me in the forehead with their wet nose, being like, are you okay? And I was like, no, I'm not okay. And I slapped the door handle for my parents' room. I crawled in there and I headbutted their mattress and just let out this whimper like, this sucks. And it was my very first week in the doctoral program that I'm enrolled in. That happened right before the weekend. And I had to literally spend 5 days, 4 of the 5, just trying to get to where I could walk regularly again. And yeah, I did crawl up onto my parents' bed. My parents woke up. They were freaked out, understandably. I have elderly parents, so they moved as fast as I had seen them move in 10, 15 years. And I crawled up onto their bed using my upper body strength, and then my kneecap on my good leg to get up on there. They had a low mattress, so it ended up working okay. And then they put blankets on me, and my mom, again, she has late stage Alzheimer's. She still knows who I am and knows who my dad is most of the time. And that morning she was just beside herself. She was she was there, and she just kept like having her hand on my hand, or like grabbing it and just kind of like doing this, where she's just like trying to stroke my hand and being like looking at me. And I didn't have my glasses on, but I know she was like looking at me like, oh. And if she had more of her, she doesn't talk as much anymore. So like in the past, she would have probably been like, oh, pobrecita, you know, like my poor girl, you know. Like she used to say that, and then like when my grandparents used to say that, she would say that. And so I recognized that. I was like, I know, Mom, I know. And my parents got ready, and we kind of went about our day, and it was tough. I stayed and just kind of like waited for them to come back. They ended up going out and getting breakfast and bringing it back, and we're like, are you okay? Can we leave you here? Have you been able to go to the bathroom? You know, because those are all like really real concerns when your leg is being a derp. And it's like, yeah, I'll be fine, like I'll make it. And my dad brought my cane to me and stuff, which at this point, like I had to wait a long time to even get off of the bed because it just wasn't responding. Like my leg literally wouldn't respond. My left one, like at all. It was just. So if you have a good spine, please take care of it. Because it's really important that those nerve bundles that exit it down at the bottom, or just like any part of it in general, especially your spinal cord, are taken care of, okay? Because you don't want to end up like that, right? I had it due to deformity growing up as a kid, and just all the surgeries end up, you know, only working for so many years. So yeah, that threw me big time. I am enjoying the doctoral program that I'm in. I am taking 2 classes, which is a full load. I was like, really, 2? And then I saw the course workload, and I looked at it and I was like, yeah, this is plenty. But my peers are really fascinating. They come from a lot of different walks of life. I don't want to say walks of life. They come from a lot of different paths. And that's both intimidating and really beautiful and fascinating, because a lot of them are like mid-career folks. They've done a lot of stuff. They have like impressive resumes and stuff. And I'm sitting there being like, I've just kind of been in school a really long time, and I've worked at Build-A-Bear Workshop and JCPenney's, and that's kind of it, you know? Like, I've stayed in school because my disability has been bad enough that I kind of needed to, until, you know, because I told, like, my parents were like, stay in school, get the highest degrees that you can, and you already have trade, which I do. I have a trade in complementary and alternative medicine and massage therapy. So that's, and I have licensing and stuff for one particular state, and I actually want to go ahead and save to take the national exam too, so that's more of a universal thing. So if I move to like Idaho, I can at least have that up on my wall. So like those are things where my parents have been like, you have a trade, you're going to have your post-secondary education, get the highest level you can, because the truth is, it's true. Like even people who aren't disabled, who have all that paperwork and all those degrees and qualifications, they don't even always, you know, like are able to find a really, you know, fair paying job or situation. So it's especially important that if I'm given the opportunity to do that, that I follow through and do it, right? And I'm happy to. So because I recognize that tremendous generosity and opportunity that I've been given. I have also worked my ass off for a lot of it, but I also am kind of like, yeah, no, I appreciate it, you know? So I mean, long story short, yeah, I guess like it hit me the other day. I'm like, oh, I'm a scholar. That makes me kind of feel gross, because it has like nasty elitist connotations, and I don't freaking like it at all. Yeah, it's weird. I almost didn't graduate high school either, so I'm always like, what? So yeah, as you can see, I am happy with that. It's great because it gives me something that's, I don't want to say busy work, because it's beyond that, because I'm getting to learn from my peers, and I'm getting to have really intense discussions with them. As you can tell from my incredibly long, dark video, I enjoy really, really like weird, deep discussions about things. But more importantly, I'm hoping that once I obtain my service dog, I can start to apply like actual activism more to it than I have been able to for quite a few years now, because it's just really, it's exhausting just existing when your body is fighting you all the time. So this is the thing. Yeah, I want to put it more into action because talking about it's fine, but you need to also just, actually do something. But yeah, I'm trying to think. I'm very excited. I want to share this all with you. I couldn't afford like a 2-in-1 right now, and both of my laptops, because I have an old MacBook Pro and then I have this MacBook Air, which has like saved my spine, literally. I don't carry it like this though. I drag it, which has its own issues. Rollies actually can cause you to twist, and I'm not really supposed to do that. So it's wild. Anyway, 2-in-1s, a lot of them are very heavy, which is a no-no. And 2, the Windows Surface Pro, which probably would have been the closest I could get that's like not super heavy. I just looked at the price tag and I'm like, later. I want to earmark that money for some other stuff. I want to try and save it. And instead, I ended up getting this, and I didn't mean to get pistachio, but they were out of the other colors, so I just ended up getting it. And there it is. It's a new Intuo, and it has Bluetooth capability. So I'm really excited about that because it means, like, one of the problems I had before with my Bamboo, and I forgot which generation it was, but I've had 2 Bamboos in my life. One of them I think was a Bamboo from which is Bamboo, and it didn't have the wireless capability, and it really prevented me from doing any creative work at all, hardly, because I couldn't sit kind of in my weird perched funny angle that I like to be in to like take stress off of my lower back, or even just like lay down kind of at an angle, which I can't really do entirely either, because if I did that I'd have to be twisting my upper body. So yeah, really just more like the weird contorted sitting at one side thing that I like to do. And so that means that when I do that I don't have to worry about the cord being in my way, which is fabulous. It means I'll actually be able to use it, and so I'm like super excited. And I know like a lot of my friends who make art, whether traditionally or digitally, they're just like, they were really kind and were like trying to be like, well, this one's good, well, this one's not, well, these are okay, and like, hey, you should use Krita like next time you have the ability to use your tablet with your computer. So what happened was my tablet was old enough, my drawing tablet was, that I couldn't update the driver anymore for the new operating systems, and I was like, no. So I had no option but to get a new one finally after all these years. So, and honestly, I'm glad, because otherwise I just would have never done that for myself, because I'm that kind of person. So it's kind of like with some of these clothes that I've gotten, like this overall pinafore dress and like the grenades and the gun and other stuff. I got like hella like clothes recently during Labor Day sale online, and it includes like masks and things that I layer with like actual medical grade masks underneath, because cloth. That I hadn't really bought anything like that for myself in a very long time. 1, because I wasn't able to afford it, but 2, it was just kind of like, oh no, I need to put that towards this medical bill. Or like, oh, I need to put that towards this over here or that over there, or taking care of my fishy, which my fishy Laguna is going to be like 7 soon. Oh my god, fish, you're ancient. And yeah, so oh, and yeah, I had to like renew my massage therapy license in one of the states, and I've also been taking like other woo-woo classes, as I like to call them, at like a local center here. So it has to do with CAM, like complementary and alternative medicine. So I've been taking like all that stuff and doing that and making sure that I don't get rusty for certain things like that. Not massage therapy, but just like energy work and stuff. So so that's been kind of the thing where I prioritized that, where I was trying to make sure I still had some trade and some classes going on. And by trade, I mean like maintenance and increasing the toolbox that's part of my trade. Not just, resting on my laurels after getting the master's degree in December and waiting to start this doctoral program here this fall. So I can tell my parents just got home, and I'm curious to see what my father's beard and haircut look like, because he was looking like a wild mountain man. Because of COVID, we go to this place here in town that has a really strict policy about masks, And in fact, the person that I know that works on hair for my mom and I actually would open like an hour early just to have us there, because she knows we're high risk and wants to like make sure that it's like we're the first people in there and no one else is in there, which I think is really nice of her. She shouldn't have to, go out of her way. Like, she doesn't have to go out of her way like that. So but anyway, I'm really curious to see what he looks like. Also, like, he's really excited because the Clark County Shooting Complex is finally expanding their hours, because whether you're doing archery or whether or not you're doing firearms related activities, it's not fun to have to do that and do all the target practice in like 110-degree heat. It's just generally not fun. Yeah, so he's excited for that. I'm excited because I got drawing in addition to my work, which I'm now 2 weeks ahead. I still need to start the other stuff, so I stay that way in my program. But yeah, and then my mom is just kind of generally just with us, right? So she will have another kind of like milestone appointment in her Alzheimer's treatment here coming up eventually. So yeah, so it's been a time and a half, and I really do appreciate all of you having patience with me and just sticking with me during these weird and unprecedented times. I know that in a lot of countries things are, more or less kind of more active socially and everything again, and here in this country it's like, yeah, but also no. So I love you all. Please take care as you're able, and I hope to have another update for you soon. Okay, bye-bye.